It's just before dawn when Isabel Reed turns the final sheet of paper. Halfway down the page, her mouth falls open. Her heartbeat quickens. Her eyes dart across each typescript line at a rapid-fire pace, accelerating as she moves through the final paragraph, desperate to arrive at a revelation to confirm her suspicions. She sucks in her breath and holds that breath for the last lines. Isabel stares at the final period, the little black dot of ink, staring. She lets out her breath. My God. Astounded at the enormity of the story. Disappointed at the absence of the confirmation she was hoping for. Furious at what it means. Terrified at the dangers it presents. And above all, heartbroken at the immensity of the betrayal. Betrayals. She puts the page down on the fat stack of paper that sits on the bedspread, next to a crumpled soft pack of cigarettes and an overflowing crystal ashtray, a mildly snarky birthday present from a passive-aggressive colleague. She picks up the manuscript with both hands, flips it over, and uses her thumbs to align the pages. Her hands are trembling. She tries to steady herself with a deep breath and sets the straightened pile of pages in her lap. There are 4 words centered at the top of the page. The Accident, by Anonymous. Isabel stares across the room, off into the black nothingness of the picture window on the opposite wall, its severe surface barely softened by the half-drawn shades, an aggressive void invading the cocoon of her bedroom. The room is barely lit by a small, bullet-shaped reading sconce mounted over the headboard, aiming a concentrated beam of light directly at her. In the window, the light's reflection hovers above her face, like a tiny sun illuminating the top of her head, creating a halo. An angel. Except she's not. She can feel her body tense and her jaw tighten, and her shoulders contract in a spasm of rage. She tries to suppress it, bites her lip, brings herself under the flimsiest tether of control. Isabel draws aside the bedspread, struggles to a sitting position. It's been hours since she has shifted her body in any appreciable way, and her legs and back are stiff and achy. Old, if she had to choose a word for her joints. Her legs dangle over the side of the mattress, her toes searching for the fleece-lined slippers. Along the wall, long slivers of aluminum shelves, hundreds of horizontal feet, are filled with neat stacks of manuscripts, their authors' names written with thick black Sharpie into the sides of the stacks of pages. Tens of thousands of pages of proposed books of every sort, promising a wide assortment of entertainment and information, produced with a broad range of skill levels. These days, everyone younger than Isabel seems to read manuscripts and proposals on e-readers. Quite a few of those older, too. But she feels uncomfortable, unnatural, sitting there holding a little device in her hands. Isabel is of the generation that's just old enough to be congenitally uncomfortable with new technologies. When she started her first job, she didn't have a computer at her desk. A year later, she did. Maybe next year she'll start using one of those things, but for now she's still reading on paper, turning pages, making notes with pens, surrounding herself with stacks of paper like bricks, bunkered against the relentless onslaught of the future. And for The Accident, she didn't even have a choice. Because although nearly all new projects are now delivered to her office electronically, this submission was not. She shuffles down the hall through the darkness, turns on the kitchen lights and the coffee machine, switched from auto on, which is set to start brewing an hour from now, to on, and the small television, filling the silent, lonely apartment with humming electronic life. Isabel had been reading frantically, hoping to discover the one assertion that rang untrue, the single mismatched thread that would unravel the whole narrative, growing increasingly discouraged as page 1 at the office in the morning became page 200.